Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. I'm just popping over to the comments here real quick. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm Shannon with Hero Arts, and welcome to our March make-along. Today we'll be creating, where's the card? We're going to be creating this card today featuring the February kit. And not only are we going to create this card together, I'm also going to show you a sneak peek of the March kit that is coming out tomorrow, which I'm really excited. I can't wait to share it with you guys. It's a really awesome kit. I'm going to just give a little bit of time here for people to load in and come in who are doing the make along with us. Let's see. Hi, Libby. Hello, Anne. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I missed your roulette yesterday or Friday. Yes, no, yes, Friday. Libby, I wish I need to go back and watch it. The roulettes are so good, aren't they? I'll just see. Did you have a good time? I've only done it once and it's a little nerve-wracking, but it is fun. Hello, Wendy. Yes, it's not foggy here in Arizona, which is where I'm at. Hero Arts is based in California. Actually very close to San Francisco, maybe foggy there, but it's very rarely foggy here in Arizona, unfortunately. I wish we had some more moisture. It was a lot of fun, but nerve-wracking. It's so nerve-wracking. I'm a bit of a control person, so having no control, and some of the things on the roulette, I don't even know what they are. Legit, like, have no idea. Hello, hello. Okay, I'm going to pop over to my other camera here and we'll get started on today's card. So let me just switch over. All right, Mary. I had to ask Mary ahead of time what some of them meant. I know, I did too. I looked some up, but then there were some I was just like, I'm not even sure. I think they were like your elements or like your theme or something. There's some things that's like, she asked me what to cross out and I was like, that one, because I don't even know what that is. But it's really fun. She's so warm and inviting and makes it as easy as possible. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, Sally Ann. All right. Okay, so let's pull out the things we're going to use for today's card. So today's card features stamps and dies from the February Classic kit, which of course is also included in the premium February kit as well. So this card can be made by whatever kit you have from February, the classic or the premium. You're going to need that gorgeous stamp set here. This one's pristine and beautiful. I will not be using this one today. I'll be using my well-used one, but I always like to pull out the pretty ones. And then you'll be using the coordinating dies that cut out the large floral image. And I forgot, I looked up once what this flower was called and I forgot what it was called. I think it starts with an A. The very first thing we're gonna do is stamp, not scrap, stamp. Oh, her son's wonderful too. Yeah, he's like a tech genius, I think. Like, I've never done a live in a situation where I had to like do nothing. They did everything. It was almost like they took control of my tech at home. I don't understand it. It's way beyond my, well, I have very limited knowledge to begin with, but way beyond my knowledge. All right, you're going to need a panel of white cardstock. No kidding, Libby. I would really like that. He could please come and help me. Tell me what to do. He could teach so many seminars, I think. I would sign up right away. I'd be the first one. I'd be like, hey, because he knows how to do it for what we're doing, right? Like, he knows how to make the tech do exactly what we need it to do. It would be so helpful. All right, so I grabbed that large floral image. There's two. Actually, I should probably point them out better. There's two. There's this one here, the big one, and then there's a smaller arrangement. We're going to do the big one for today's card. So pick that up. And then you're going to grab some Hero Arts Intens-ified black ink. This is a Copic friendly ink because we are going to do some Copic coloring. Yep, alcohol marker friendly ink. I use it so much I kind of forget all the things that it does, but I know because it's waterproof too. It's like crazy. It's a really, really good ink. Make some room here. I'm going to stamp it with my MISTI just because I don't want to make any mistakes. I think I have I have two Intens-ified black ink pads and one that's kind of dry. So I'm hoping I grabbed the right one. I took the drier one to do like a trade show live, and that was kind of frustrating. Nothing more frustrating sometimes than a dry ink pad. Especially when you know you have the re-inker to re-ink it. It's like, why didn't I re-ink it? Oh, this is the nice one. Oh, beautiful. I'm just going to stamp it one more time. But it's looking really good. And we're going to do some simple Copic coloring today. Nothing crazy. We'll do gradations. I'm not the best Copic colorer. I like to keep it simple. But I do like Copics. I do like coloring with them. I just don't like to make it too complicated. Because my problem is my picking of my colors. I get kind of funny about my colors, where if I don't like the way my colors are coming together, I'll have to start all over again. So that's kind of where I don't like to spend too much time coloring, because what if I don't like how my colors look? All right, I'm just going to clean my stamp. And let's put back on our acetate. Oh, I forgot to get my sand cardstock. I'll have to get up and get that. I forgot that. So in the instructions, if you're following along with the instructions, after we color this, after we stamp this, we color this. But I'm going to let it dry a little bit. Hello, Michelle. Happy Sunday. I'm going to let this air dry a bit before I start to color. It's really important that you let this ink dry completely before you start using the Copic markers. Otherwise, you will get some bleeding. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit. And while that's drying, and I could use a heat tool to dry it, but I don't always like to do that. I try to avoid it. I don't know why. I just try to avoid it a little bit. Just because the heat tool kind of tends to warp your paper a tiny bit. Hello! And while that's drying, we can go ahead and work on some of our sentiments. So again, here's the card. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp. Let's start with that sending. And the sentiments in this set are so good. I love them. There's this beautiful, long, scripty sentiments. And then you can combine them with these like sub-sentiments that are very linear and all in caps. And I just love that combo. I think they're so pretty. The sentiments in this set the flower images are pretty, but the sentiment sets were my favorite from that set. So I have some more white cardstock here. I'm just going to pull off sending. And we'll stamp that. I barely have enough room. I have to put it at an angle. They are so good. I agree. They are really fab. And I'm going to ink this up with my Intens-ified black again. Really, any ink is fine. Any black ink would be fine for this because we're not Copic coloring over it. But because we did stamp our flowers in this black, I kind of like to use the same black if it's not going to affect anything, just to keep the tones. If there's any subtle tonal difference, we won't run into that at all because we've used the same black. Stamp again. We had a sleepover last night. The cousins, my daughters, their cousins came over, and my daughters were so excited for them to come over that they've been planning a big surprise for their cousins when they came over for the sleepover. And that big surprise was a humongo blanket fort in our living room. In fact, our whole living room is covered in blankets and chairs, and Daddy even helped, and they made like different rooms inside of there. One of the rooms is a classroom. One of the rooms is a tech room. Oops, and they had a lot of fun. All right, and now we're gonna grab the coordinating dies. So many dies in this kit. You have dies for that sentiment, so that's awesome. Makes it easy to cut out that scripty sentiment. I think this is the right one. No, it is not. All right. Let's try again. I thought I just put it up top, but I didn't. Is this sending? There we go. Yep, that's it. And then I'll use a little piece of tape, hold it in place. Let's see what we got here. But Friday night, I think though before your or after your roulette though, Libby. Unfortunately, I missed. I was getting ready. We have a local band here in Arizona that plays 90s songs, so it's a cover band. And they don't come out very often. And we found out kind of last minute that they were coming out to play. So I really enjoy listening to that. It's all my everything, you know, it's like high school years all over again. It was so fun. Mindy, you're going to be in Arizona? We have to get together. Mindy, we have to get together. Are you coming too? If you're coming, Mindy, I'm going to hunt you down and find you. But they were really fun. That's what we did Friday night. And then Saturday was just kind of a get ready for the sleepover. So it's been kind of a quiet weekend except for our little 90s cover band fun on Friday. Oh, you're going to be home? No fair. You got to, well, if you come to Arizona, we would have a great time. All right. Look at how beautiful that cut out. I love it. Hello, Lori. Lake Elmo. Wow. It's so fun to see where everybody comes from. All right. So we've got our sending. Now we can work on our sub-sentiment, which is the love. So that's just a little white heat embossed on black cardstock. Obviously, you don't need very much black cardstock, so I have a little scrap here that we're going to use. Hello. Hello, Deb. Let's see. So a little black cardstock here. A little bit of pitch black. Our little pitch black scraps are precious, aren't they? Because they will get used. They will get used. And I'm going to grab my white and my embossing and watermark ink ready to go. Put a little anti-static powder down. Ooh, ouch. I cut my finger a while ago opening a tofu container, sliced right into my finger here. And I doubt you can see the scar, but I have like nerve damage there. So whenever if something touches it right there in that spot, it hurts real bad. Be careful of your tofu. Don't be dumb like me and open your tofu container with a knife and then go right through the packaging into your hand. That was very, very dumb. Yes, it hurt. It hurt real bad. But the nerve damage thing is a weird one because it'll still hurt sometimes. Even though it's been years. I mean, it's been many, many years. I'm sure people who cook at home have done something. Cut themselves similarly. Probably not opening tofu containers, but kitchen is a hazardous place. Last night we made pupusas. Has anybody ever made anything like that before? It's like masa with refried beans inside, and then you close it up. So it's like completely encased with masa. And I'm slowly, I'm learning how to cook it from online, and I'm slowly starting to get better at it. Michelle, you said on your thumb. Yes. And opening a can of tuna. Oh my gosh. Yeah, those are lots of cuts. But man, the kitchen is dangerous, right? I think it's more dangerous than the craft room. We've got to just stay out of there for our own protection. Just stay in our craft rooms. It's much safer there with our scissors and our trimmers. I definitely have not hurt myself as much in my craft room as I have in the kitchen. That's for sure. So I stand by it. But I'm slowly starting to get good at those pupusas. They're kind of tricky. I'm learning how to do it. It's like the third, well, I think I'm on the fourth time of making them. I'm finally figuring out how much water to add to the masa and how to cook them properly. We're starting to get there, but man, that's a budget-friendly meal and super good if you make some. It's probably the way I'm serving it's definitely not authentic, but I make homemade salsa and put some homemade salsa on top because it helps with the light freshening it up because the masa is kind of heavy. All right, there we go. I stamped it like 3 times in the embossing and watermark ink. Just make sure we got enough on there. Hopefully there's enough. I needed 7 stitches on my knuckle. Oh no, Lori. I never would have gone to the ER if it weren't for your husband. I believe in taping the area and wait. Yes, I didn't go to the emergency room because mine didn't need stitches, Lori, so mine was not nearly as bad as yours. But also my cut was like at a weird, like at an angle. So it was, pretty much self-closed, which I was lucky and grateful for. But it was one of those things where you couldn't tell. Well, I think I need to stamp that again. I did not stamp it enough. Well, we'll see how we go. Embossing, right? Always giving you troubles. Well, let's see how it is. Doesn't look very good to me. It looks like I needed to stamp it some more. But if we have to stamp it again, we stamp it again. No big deal. Hello from Southern California. I'm trying to decide if we should go to Southern California. We've been there many times being from Arizona for our spring break. Maybe we will. Well, that was terrible. Let's see if I can do better. I did not do a very good job with that. Let's see if I can do better. Hopefully you guys did better than me. I'm going to try to nestle it back in here and see if I've got it in the right spot where we can stamp it again. If not, we'll just flip it over and try again. I bet this pad needs some more ink. Well, it looks pretty lined up. Let's try again. Oh, okay, Mindy. Let's do that. Mindy, very wise. I'm going to use my white. And you know what? Sorry, I bumped the camera. And I bumped the camera again. Oh, the Cavasu. Very nice. I'm going to use the white pigment ink that came in the kit. We'll try that. Oh, much better. Mindy, so wise. I think my poor embossing watermark ink needs some more, or ink pad needs some more ink. Shameful. Oh, I gotta see it now. I need to rewatch or watch. I didn't watch, so I need to watch the replay. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't doubt that Libby did an awesome job. All right, I'm gonna heat set with my heat tool. Oh, so much better. So much better. I always forget about using my pigment inks as basically like an embossing ink because they take longer to dry, so they actually, all of them can be used, any pigment ink can be used in place of an embossing watermark ink pad. Just get into the habit of using one thing. Oh, I dropped my, hold on, I'm gonna cut this, but I'm gonna use my craft knife and ruler. I thought since I was up, I might as well get my sand cardstock as well. Because that one I did forget. Because we're going to use that for our background. All right. We are moving right along here. So of course you could use the paper trimmer. I just like to use my ruler. I just feel like it's easier for me to get the spacing right above or similar above and below. I have a little hard time doing that with my paper trimmer, matching that spacing on both sides. I find it easier to do with my ruler and craft knife, and I think I'm due for a new cutting mat. My poor cutting mat is seen better days. And sometimes it messes me up a little bit. It's been so worn. There we go. Better hold that down a little bit more. Okay. Grab a pair of scissors, cut this out. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I will still never get tired of a white heat embossed sentiment on black cardstock. It just looks so good every time. I love it. All right, so we now have our sentiments done. Sending love. Adorable. Oh, I love it. It looks so good. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside. And let's check on our florals. I think it's still not quite ready, so I'm gonna get my heat tool and dry it a little bit. So it's gonna be a little noisy. All right, hope that's dry enough. All right, let's start with the leaves and stems. So just have 3 colors picked out. G43, and these are all in the instructions. YG63, that's going to be our medium. So G43 is our light. YG63 is our medium, and our dark is YG67. I like to start with my light first, and I'm going to color most of the leaf with that light green. Oh, good. The ink looks dry, no bleeding. Wonderful. So about maybe a little bit more than 2/3 of the leaf with that light. Then I'll go to my medium shade, again, YG63. Color the rest of it. Do that kind of feathered stroke where I start, when I first come in contact with the paper, I'm more heavy-handed, then I lift up. So you have that, it kind of gets lighter. Just kind of creates that gradation. And this leaf's a little funny. It's got a little flip over part. So I'm going to add a shadow right there. Plus that adds some beautiful contrast. Oh gosh, Sandy. Well, I don't know. I think they are hotter. My last, I buy new heat guns when mine die. So my last one died, and I noticed that a lot of card makers were using the Wagger too, so that's why I just got it. I just assumed it was probably better. So I didn't test out a bunch of them to know, but it does definitely seem hotter than my last heat gun, and it has 2 settings, and I don't think my last heat gun had 2 settings. That's kind of nice. Sometimes it's nice to not have it super like on high. So I do like that. Now I'm on to YG67. That's just my dark, and I just added it to that lower third, again using that feathered stroke. And now I have that beautiful gradation. And I'm even going to add a little bit to that curved over part, just a little there. And I'm going to do now just a tiny bit of smoothing out that gradation, really only right here. I think just right there it's a little abrupt. So go back to my medium shade, just kind of blend out that transition between that medium and dark, and then do a tiny bit with the light. And that, we'll do a little there. That's it. That is kind of our method for coloring our leaves and making gradations. Really, really simple. Like I said, I don't think I know I'm not that great of a Copic color because I don't take a lot of time to do it. I just want to get it kind of done. But I do love the gradations that it creates. Now I'm back to my medium shade. This is where I definitely want to do that feathered stroke. Actually, we can go right over that stem. I don't know why I'm trying to avoid it. And then we'll go to our dark. And for this one, so there's a pretty big, broad surface area. Yes, it's broken up a little bit with the lines, but because it's still pretty big, I'm definitely going to do a little bit more care to kind of blend it out. So I'm back to my medium, just going to blend out that transition between the medium and the dark, just a tiny bit. And I'll do a little bit here between the medium and the light. There you go, another leaf done. Making our way through. These flowers look so beautiful white, but we are going to color them red. Hello, Kim. Thank you, Vicki. medium here. I will say, once you have kind of like a process figured out and you like your colors, the coloring is really relaxing. And that leaf, I don't think needs any more blending. I think it looks great. It's just like the bigger the surface area, the more you might have to go back and kind of fine tune that gradation, smooth it out. Is this a crazy question? What are Copic pens and why are they special? What can they be substituted for? Sally Ann, I'm not sure if I know exactly what Copic pens are. They don't call these pens, do they? I know sometimes some companies will call markers pens, but I think they call these markers. This one's the Chow, this one's the Sketch. They're filled with the same, these are different colors though, but they're filled with the same alcohol ink. This one just has less, this one will hold more, and that's basically the only difference between the Chow and the Sketch. The Sketch comes in more colors. I do have Copic multi-liners, but I don't think these are called pens. What are they called? These I use just to add, they're very, very fine. And I use them to add like little, maybe like little eyes or something like that. I'm trying to see what they call them. Oh, they call these pens. So these are very, very fine. And they are pigment ink. So they're not even the same. They're not even alcohol ink. So I guess it just kind of depends. But these are the only ones I have that are, I think, called pens. And you could substitute, if this is what you're talking about, Sally Ann, these could easily be substituted with a Sharpie, a fine tip, fine point. There you go. That's the word. Fine point Sharpie. Though they're not as fine. The Sharpies don't get as fine. I mean, these get really, really small. Let's see, what's the smallest here? No, this is the smallest. 0.03. I don't know if you can see like the difference. But for most things, fine Sharpie will do fine. Be totally okay. I don't know if that was very helpful though. I tried. But I thought these were called markers, but I could be wrong. It took me a while. I was really hesitant to buy Copics because obviously they're very expensive. But and I don't suggest you buy them the way I bought them, which is in big sets. Even though I knew everybody was like, don't buy them this way, don't buy them this way. I am such a sucker for price per unit. And that was, you know, I could get Copics for like less than $5 when I bought them in big sets. So, but the problem with buying in big sets is there's tons of Copics in that set that I will probably never use because they're either too similar to a color that I already have, so it's kind of pointless to buy it, or they're just colors I don't like, you know? So Jen Shurkis has a really great, she's the best, I think, for kind of helping you figure out what kind of Copics you want to buy. She has a whole like sheet of, or a whole list of Copics that she is her favorites, and I do fully agree with her list. So that's a good place to start if you want to start to kind of figure out what Copics to buy. But I really like that they're refillable, and I've refilled them a bunch already. So to me, that's a big value, and so much better for the environment. I'm not throwing away. I'm not buying like Hues all the time. You know, like the cheap Amazon markers, which I did buy some of those too. They dried out fast, unfortunately. Even though they looked okay, they just dried out fast. Okay, look at how beautiful our leaves look already. So now we're just going to color in the stems. I'm going to stick to kind of my medium and my dark for my stems. And this is the trickiest part because they're so thin. So just take your time. Down here, you can just kind of color all of them. I'm coloring with my medium shade now. I'm just going to go over all the stems with that medium shade. And we're almost there until it takes all my concentration to stay within the lines. That's something I don't do very well. Hello, Shirley. But if you want substitution for Copic markers in general, there's a lot of alcohol markers out there. But like I said, what I like about Copics is they're refillable. They are very expensive though, but they are refillable. But they're an investment. If you're not sure if you even like alcohol markers, you might want to give like the cheaper ones a try. Like you could just do the ones you get off of Amazon. Just to see if you even like coloring with Copics or alcohol markers, alcohol ink. Now I'm taking my darker shade and just kind of darkening up the lower portion of some of these stems. Kind of create a little gradation over them, but it's so subtle that it's not really that big of a deal. You just wanted to stop after you colored with the medium shade, you totally could. I think that's it. And I did get out of the lines a little bit, tiny bit here. So I'll grab my Color Splendor and clean that up. I didn't grab that one to begin with. These are always dry though. Hopefully this one's got some. Oh, it does. It has some ink in it. All right. I tried to refill all my markers before I went live because that's not entertaining to watch me. Refill marker. I'm going to darken this a little bit more. And then I think we'll be done with the bulk of it. Like once you cover those leaves and stems, you're done with the bulk of your flowers. Now onto the petals, I guess. The main part of the flower. Let's just say the flower. I have 3 reds picked out for that. Again, a light, medium, and dark. Our light is R17. Our medium is R27, and our dark is R59. And we're actually going to go light in the center and dark towards the edge. Yes, surely they can be bought individually, and that's the better way to do it. I bought mine in big sets because, like I said, I'm a sucker for price per unit. But that's not actually the best way to go, best way to spend your money, because when those big sets, there's a lot in those big sets, there's a lot of markers that are very similar in color that you probably don't actually need to, like 2 shades of very light blue, or that probably is not the best example, but they'll often have shades that are so similar that you really only need 1 marker, because there's like over 100 different colors, and you do not need all those colors. You do not. I have, I think, only less than half, and I have more markers than more colors than I really need. But yes, you can buy them individually, and that's the best way to do it. So just like with the leaf, we start with our light. I colored about a little bit past, well, a little bit past halfway actually. And now I'm moving on to my medium shade. And I'm going to start to do that feathered stroke again, which is where it's heavy and then you get lighter, or you lift your pressure as you end your stroke, and that creates this dark to light. I'm doing it this way where I'm starting here and lifting up because I want, again, the tips of these petals, flowers, not sure what to call this part of the flower. I want that to be dark. So dark here, lighter at the bottom, which is probably not the right way that these are colored, but for some reason that's the way I colored them. And I think it works. It's fine. These tones, there's not a big shift between that R17 and an R27. So I don't think I need to blend it out, but you can still see it's lighter, a little bit darker. Oh, and that's R59, our dark. Gorgeous. So pretty. Stunning. Red is very popular right now on clothes, by the way. I see a lot of people wearing red, and every time I see someone wear it, I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. Especially this like true red. All right, that's our first flower done. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Oh, Lori has a great suggestion. Yeah, look at your cards, see what colors you are drawn to, brights, muted, subtle. Yep. That's great advice, Shirley. I mean, Lori. Also, lights are really helpful. Even if you don't use a lot in your coloring, they really help to blend things out. So very helpful markers to have. And you really only need like 3 colors in a shade, a light, a medium, and dark. That's pretty much all you need. You can get by pretty far with that. That's all we're using today. For our red, we have 3 colors. For our greens, we had 3 colors. And even for our yellows, which I don't really, the yellows is going to be this center part of the flower. And it's so small. I really didn't need to do 3 markers, but I did. You could probably just get by with 2. The smaller the space, the fewer markers you need to use to create the gradation. If it's a bigger surface area you're coloring, you might have to go up to 4 even sometimes, but most of the time 3 is all you need. I love that R59. It's adding the drama. So pretty. There we go. All right, we're back to 17. All right, we're just working our way through here. And I've slowly been investing, like buying refills for the markers that I use a lot. And I think I'm almost there. I think I'm almost like maybe 5 refills away from having like my personal palette all covered, like all the colors I like to use in my markers with refills for them. And I'm telling you, that makes me feel so, oops, I colored in my flower center, but that makes me feel so prepared. Like I feel very established. Like that to me makes me feel like the most like a true card maker is that I have refills for all the markers that I use. Because that wasn't always the case, and I was always scrambling around to be like, okay, what can I substitute this color for because my marker's so dry? Now I'm like, I don't have to worry about it. I got a refill for that because that's the color I use. All right, I'm gonna do a little cleanup here because I colored in there a little bit. So the colorless blender or 0 will pick up that ink a little bit, and so sometimes you have to kind of wipe it off onto, you know, a scratch area. Thank you, Patty. It's looking really pretty. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right. We're just cruising along here. This is the most time-consuming part, but this is like our focal point of the card, so I think it's well worth it. Time-consuming, but very easy. Nothing crazy. There's no besides this one little fold here, we're not having to really think too hard about shadows, and we're just creating some pretty gradations. That's it. We're not having to think too hard. Thank goodness. Ooh, Lori's got all the good advice. I don't think I have that marker, B000. It's a basic color to outline your images of give depth. Oh, I think I do that with like another different light blue, but that is very true. Good advice. As I'm saying, I am not, again, the best Copic colorer or the most knowledgeable, but I hope that encourages you, that you don't have to feel like you have to be an expert to pick up Copics and just play and use them the way you want to use them. Ooh, I love it. Yes, Christy, it's from a stamp. It's from the February. I always feel like I say February weird. It's from our February My Monthly Hero kit. This is part of the classic or it's included in both the classic and the premium kit from February, which is last month's kit. And yeah, so that's where the image is from. There you go. Yeah, both work, Cynthia. Exactly. I was coloring my flowers last night according to the prep sheet. Awesome. And the flowers had more of the lightest colors showing instead of the solid colors. I like that look too. Awesome. Exactly. Do what you like. I'm a firm believer that there's no like, if you like the way it looks and it's working, then that's the right way. There's so many ways to do something. Rarely is there one hard and fast way that has to be done. All right, so we are all done with those. That red, now we just have the centers. And like I said, I did pick out 3 yellows for this, which is a bit overkill, to be honest. I could just done 2, but that's what I did. So that's what we're gonna do. The light is Y02, the medium is Y15, and the dark is YR23. And I'm gonna start, so I'm doing kind of reverse. So it was from the stem, it went from light to dark. Here we're gonna go from the stem dark to light. So more contrast. Contrast is like key. I can't overstate that. I'm just gonna color the whole, I'm gonna call that stamen, but I'm not sure, I don't think that's what it is. But I'm gonna color that whole stamen in this yellow. We'll stay flower center. That's gotta be safe, right? And then we'll move to our medium, which is Y15, color a little bit up, about halfway. And then we'll finish with YR23. That's the medium. I don't even think you needed that color. Just creates a little gradation for the flower center. But since we did the opposite, dark to light, now we're doing dark for the center, dark to light. That way, we're going to get more contrast that way, and it's going to be more interesting. Contrast adds interest to your cards and adds that drama. Oh, are the tip, chisel, and bullet? So I don't have bullet, I have brush. So both of the sketch and the Copic have the same, I'm sorry, the sketch and the chow both have the same nibs. You have the chisel on one end, and then you have the brush. So no bullet. That is a different Copic marker. I'm trying to remember what it's called. That's what Jen Shirkus uses. She uses the other ones, which I can't remember what they're called. I don't actually own any of those, but they're not the sketch or the chow. She has a different one. There's a different Copic marker, and that one I think standard comes with a bullet and a chisel nib. But the ones I'm using are brush and chisel, which I like never use the chisel. I always use the brush. The brush is easier. With the brush, it's easier to do that feathered stroke. But the bullet's nice because it's very, sometimes I wish I didn't have the chisel and I had the bullet, which I could change up the nibs, I think. I've never done that. But the bullet's good for getting into some tight places. Hello, Brenna. Hello. Welcome, welcome. So pretty. I gotta remember to do I'll have to do my Copic homework before I use Copics in Live. I feel not very knowledgeable. It's been a while since I've I even colored with Copics, to be honest. Just been doing different things, even though I love them. Just been doing different things, different techniques, I guess. But I mean, like, look at that. It's so pretty. I love it. I love it. I love it. And that's it. So now I'm going to grab the coordinating die, which is this guy right here. We're going to line it up. Now we are going to actually color in the negative spaces between these stems, really. Some of the leaves, but mostly between the stems. But it's easier to do that when you die cut it first. So you kind of know, you have a better understanding of what your border is going to be. So I'll line this up. That looks pretty good. Grab a couple pieces of tape. Hold that die in place. You know, I think actually I could cut this with my compact cutter, so I think I'm going to do that. But I will have to cut off the side a tiny bit to fit it in. Oh yeah, we can cut it with the compact cutter. Nice. All right. Let's just cut around this so it fits a little bit better. There you go. Now, I could have used that for my sentiment. Oh well. We used another scrap. There we go. Okay, all lined up. This is the part where I feel like, you know, in carpentry, they always say like, measure once, measure twice, cut once. I feel like this is the card making equivalent to that. Take that extra time when you're die cutting to line it up. I'm gonna cut this little extra stuff off here because you don't want to have to color this all again. Another option is to die cut it first and then color, but I always forget to do that. That's not like, my brain doesn't think that way. That's another option too. Yes, Damon. Okay, great. Thank you, Shirley. Let's grab my tweezers again. Help me peel that tape off. Nails are pretty, but they sometimes make you useless. I have a hard time playing cards, picking things up, but oh, they are so pretty, even though I need to get mine redone, but I do love having them. Even though it makes me feel a little bit fussy, a little bit silly because I can't do things. Okay. So here you go. Now you can really see why there's just a lot of negative space here. And we're going to put this on a craft, or, well, technically it's sand, but basically like a craft cardstock. This beautiful sand. Oh, I love this. This is my favorite. craft cardstock color because it's just a little bit softer and it's so pretty. This is Hero Art Sand. But this is going to be our background. And it just kind of, here's where like the contrast is working against us. I feel like it just makes things a little bit too busy, but it's still very pretty. But I'm going to color in that negative space with the Copic. And I found a Copic. I tested a bunch of my tans, just like colored them on white cardstock, kind of held it up to the sand. And this is the one I thought was the closest, which is E43. Now you can totally skip this step. This is not necessary at all. In fact, it is very pretty even still on there with the white in between. But this, I'm trying to go for it to kind of blend in a little bit more. So I'm going to color in this negative space, but I'm going to keep the, hello Kim, thank you Patty. I'm going to try to keep a similar border. So I'm not going to color all the way up to the leaf or all the way up to the flower. I'm going to leave a little white border because I just want it to seem consistent. So I'll do my best here just to kind of keep that white border. The thing to remember though is Copic markers, because of the alcohol ink, they do kind of bleed a little bit. So just keep that in mind. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. Just do the best I can. Best I can to keep a little white border around the leaves, the flowers, not go all the way up to them with this tan. So I kind of outline it first, and then I'll fill it in. But it's looking so good. All right. I think just like a few more. This is the big one. It's so quiet in my house. I can hear my clock ticking and my cat snoring. The kiddos all went over to my mom's house where we have Sunday dinner. We always have Sunday dinner at my mom's. So they just got a little early over there, and I'll meet up with them after I finish up a couple things over here. Because we've got a release tomorrow. So I have a couple things I need to finish. Like my card. Nothing like doing everything last minute. Oh, you are Kim? You struggle with Copics? Well, I'm not the best, Kim. I'm not the best, but they are so fun though. I think you will get so much out of that class, and definitely build your confidence. Because I don't feel like I'm the best either, but I think I get by, you know. I don't do anything too complicated. I know my limits. I don't do things too complicated. Yeah, Sunday dinner with family is awesome. Yeah, we're a big game family too, so we play games. And I love playing games. Okay, we're gonna cut this sandpaper down. And we actually don't want it to be 4 1/4. We want it a little bit smaller, so we're gonna go 4 1/8. I think that's what I did. What did I do? Let's measure it. No, I think I did 4, just 4. Yeah, 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm gonna go to 4 here. Thank you, Shirley. I think what it is mostly it's the markers. I think that's the hardest part, making your marker choices, because you don't want it to be a big jump in your shades. So if you make good marker choices, that it basically does the work for you. You don't have to have a lot of skill. Card games. I like card games too. My mom prefers card games. She loves hand and foot. Does anybody play hand and foot? No hand and foot out there? We play that a lot. She loves poker, but she can't get anybody to play poker with her. I'm not a big fan of poker. But I don't mind hand and foot. Hand and foot's fine. Well, we would play pinochle too. I mean, I grew up playing cards. Now I honestly play more board games. Ooh, watch me on the big, whoa, that makes me feel fancy. All right, so there's our card base. Pinochle, yes. Pinocle's fun. I haven't played pinochle in a long time. I think I actually like pinochle more than hand and foot. All right, so so in the instructions, I say to, well, we're going to stamp this first. Oh, I almost made a big mistake. We're going to stamp this first. So this is another fun part of the card. So I'm going to point out the kind of little bit of technique-y things, or maybe they're not really technique things, but interesting design choices. One was the coloring in the negative space. That's something you don't see all the time, but see how it's kind of going to blend in. It just has a kind of almost that, like, what do they call that? That look. Eclipse cutting or something like that. It almost has that kind of look, except for we have a white border. So that's a different look. The next thing that's going to be a little bit different, I'm trying to find the card. Oh, here it is we're going to, it does sound like a sickness. That's hand, foot, mouth, right? Hand, foot, mouth disease. The next thing we're going to do is our vase. And that's another different kind of unique, that's probably a better way to describe the design choices, is a unique design choice. So coloring in the negative space, that's not something I do all the time, but I thought it was nice for this card because this is very clean and simple card design. Another thing was actually not stamping. What I would normally do is stamp a vase on white cardstock, color it, and then put it on the card. I love this idea of just stamping it directly onto the sand. I thought that was so cool. That kind of like interesting dimension where you have the flowers popping in the vase back. I just think it's such a neat thing. Poker's on. Yeah, these are older card games. Like these are games that my grandma taught me how to play, so I'm not surprised a lot of people don't know them. Poker is very popular though. Yes. I'm not as a big fan of poker just because I am not very good at bluffing. And I get very frustrated when people bluff and don't have stuff, or you know what I mean? I'm just not good at reading people's bluffs either. So probably a dream player for a good poker player. Or maybe not. Maybe they want more of a challenge. Thank you, Kim. Yep, I did. I just tried a bunch of my tans, and like I colored a little bit on white cardstock and just held it up till I found a tan that matched. I can't bluff. It's written all over my face. I know. I feel like can. Oh, you just need some practice. You will get good at coloring. Please don't feel discouraged. You will get good at coloring. Coloring, like all other things in art, just take practice. That's all it is. There is no like secret sauce, no magic. There's no like people are born with it, people are not. You can get good at art just with practice. Though I think you're probably too hard on yourself. I bet you are better than you. I bet other people would think your work is beautiful. We're our own worst critics, aren't we? So I pulled off the vase that I wanted. You could use any vase. There's actually 2 other ones in this kit. I'm just going to use the same one I used before. I don't know why. And Sheep's Head is a card game that we played. Oh my, I've never heard of that one. I'm going to ask my mom if she's played that. I've never even heard of that. We'd also play another game where we had a Tripoli. Was it called Tripoli? I think we played that too. I think that's the name of the game. It had something called like the kitty. had a kitty. I think that's what it was. And I was a kid and I was like, let's play that cat game. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see if I can not bump this 100 times. So I just used the flowers to help me figure out where the vase needs to go. Kind of holding them over. That's simple. Now I'm just going to pick it up and stamp it. I'm going to use the same. Exploding kitties. No, I haven't played that one. I think it's called Tripoli. I think that's what it was called. It had like a like, you know how poker has, sometimes you'll have it had like a green mat, because this, I guess poker is not even necessarily, that's true. It had a green mat that you would lay out like a tablecloth that had all these different sections, and you would pay up every time, and each of the little pots you'd pay up, and one of the pots was the kitty. But I think it's called Tripoli, and I don't think it was a very popular game. Tripoli! Yes! Oh, wow, you guys are making, it's fun. Fun to have people know what you're talking about. I have not played Rummy Royale. No, I have not played that, but it sounds, I believe you, Lori. I bet you know. There we go. Okay, now we can get back to what I was talking about before. So in the instructions, I say to just pop this up with foam adhesive or foam tape. I'm going to use some scrap. I've got so many scrap cardstock pieces here. I'm going to use these to kind of pop this up. So I'm going to cut like 3. I don't know if you guys, do you have a lot of scrap panels? I have so many. And this is a good use of them to add dimension without having to, let's see what else I got in here. I have one that's even got like some texture on it. What, that fits right behind there. Perfect. We're going to use that too. And my friend Michelle gave me a great tip one time when she saw me doing this, like stacking up pieces of scrap white cardstock to add dimension behind my panels. This is something Jennifer McGuire does all the time. But Michelle gave me a great tip. She said to emboss them first, like with an embossing folder. So that kind of, will make highs and lows. And that way you only need like one panel. You just need that embossed panel, put it behind your top panel, and that can add all the dimension. I thought that was really clever. Scrap panels coming out of your ears. Yep, that's how I feel too. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to use these scrap panels because no one's going to see them. Doesn't matter that they've got, texture or color. No one's going to see them. But if you want to just use foam adhesive, you can. Cut this little one down. So I'm just going to stack up 2. I think that's all I need, just for a little bit of dimension. It's just, you can't even really tell, obviously, in the photos that it has that little bit of dimension, but in person you can. See how little, it's just a little bit popped up, and it just looks so stunning. Holy scrap. I like that. That's pretty good. I'm going to use some liquid glue here to adhere these together. I know, isn't that brilliant, Wendy? Right? That is my friend Michelle. She's brilliant. Longtime card maker, and she's genius. And she's really clever about making the most out of her supplies. So when she told me that, I was like, you're a genius. Okay. And if I had an embossed panel ready to go, I'd use that, but I don't. And all my embossing folders are put away. They're not in a convenient spot for me. Okay, hold that for a second. Actually, I'm going to grab my top plate, my die cutting machine. That's so helpful to weight it down just for a second. And we are on home stretch here. I'm going to grab my foam adhesive. I am going to use foam adhesive for my sentiment, though. All right. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and adhere it onto my card base. Whoop. Well, it helps when you take the cap off your glue first. That helps. There we go. Let's see, we're centered. There we go. Now, let's grab, I was afraid of this. Oh, good, I didn't lose them. I was afraid I was gonna lose my sentiments. That's usually why I don't do them first, because I lost, before we started this live, I lost a stamp. And I looked everywhere. I was like, and then to the point where I was like, I gotta get ready for the live. I can't keep looking for this stamp that I lost. And of course, I moved my die cutting machine and there it was. But that made me feel a lot better. It's like, oh, okay, it's not lost. I mean, I found it. It's not lost forever. Okay, we're gonna do sending love. And I'm trying to think how I just did a bigger piece of foam adhesive. We're going to do something a little different. We're just going to adhere it onto the sending. So I'm going to grab my foam adhesive, or I'm going to grab my liquid glue. I'm just going to add a tiny dab to that G. Let's add a little bit to the eye, the bottom part of the eye, just a little dab of liquid glue. I'm going to do it down here. So I have the grid lines to help me. Where are my tweezers? There we go. I don't want to cover up too much of it, so it's hard to read, you know? Luckily it's liquid glue and I can wiggle this around a little bit. Go a little bit more over the G. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Basically only on the G. Ended up not really resting on the eye at all, which I think looks even better. All right, now we're just gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna grab my foam adhesive. I'm gonna pop up the flowers. Grab a strip here. Yes, yeah, they are so handy, aren't they? I'm finally getting the hang of tweezers. I have to admit I was kind of a late adopter to them, and now I use them all the time. I don't know why. I just couldn't quite get the hang of them, and now I'm like, okay, I figured them out. Yes, we are actually going to move the time of our, so this is at our new time right now, this make-along. But we're going to have our make-alongs the weekend before our monthly release, which are always, almost always the first week of the month. That way, so we can, I get to kind of show you guys this, you guys get first look at the new kit, which I will show you in just a bit because we are almost done with this card and I'm so excited to show it to you guys. It is such a good one. I love it. The cards I've been seeing from the design team or creative team are amazing. And there's so much in the kit too. That's what I think is so cool. That's so sticky. All right. Let's put it down just a tiny bit more. Beautiful. And then we'll sending love. So this I am going to also lift up on foam adhesive, but I'm just going to put it on behind the black sentiment strip. So behind here, behind the love, and like over here on the sending and over here on the G. I'm going to use my thin sentiment strip or adhesive for that. Oh, awesome, Kim. Yes, we just moved them, so it's a little different time. Today is the first that we've done at this time. Actually, I think we might have accidentally done it last week too, or last month. I can't remember now. It's all a blur. I don't remember. Okay, this is where tweezers would be helpful. There we go. Maybe this is why I use tweezers more, because I have nails now. And you can't do anything with nails. All right. Okay, I just have to avoid putting any of that foam adhesive in the center where the stem is. And I guess where the D is too, because you can see how the D overlaps. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Okay. I love it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the foam adhesive. Or the backing, I guess. I'm not remove the foam adhesive. I just took all that time to put it on. I remove the backing on the foam adhesive. Oh, good. That's helpful, Anne. Thanks. I'm glad it's a good time for you. It is 2 here for me, but yeah, I'm still trying to figure out a good time. Obviously, there's no good time for everybody, but I wish I could do a good time for most. But maybe that's an impossible thing. I'm gonna add a little bit of liquid glue here to the back of our sentiment where it's gonna overlap. Yeah, I like it there better. Okay. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Okay, that's it. Woohoo! Exactly, Anne. Exactly. The release will be the first Monday of the month, and the make along will be the Sunday before. Exactly. That is the better way to say it than whatever I said. All right, so I'm sure you're noticing or thinking we're missing something, because we are. The last thing is that glossy finish, which is made with a clear lacquer pen. I'm going to just put it on. I think part of the reason why these flowers are kind of glossy to begin with in real life, so I think that just fits. It adds obviously some nice shine and texture to your card. But I think one of the reasons why it looks so pretty on this flower is because I didn't do that stamen in the center. So I went around it, and that just makes it look more, ends up making it look more shiny, because you have more curves that are catching the light, and it also just makes the texture show up a little bit more. They do last forever, right? They do. So I'm going to just start. I always try to do these glossy finishes, like either if I'm doing like faux enamel dots with our pearls, our hero pearls, or using a lacquer pen. I try to do this last, because this is the thing that I will bump and mess up. So once I get the lacquer on here, I'm going to take this card somewhere far away from where I work, far away from me, so it can dry. And I won't accidentally put my hand in the lacquer before it's ready. And it's surprisingly easy to kind of avoid that center. You don't worry about getting it perfectly. I didn't get it perfectly to the black line. It doesn't matter. Don't stress about that. It doesn't matter. Exactly, Kim, exactly. Thank you, Wendy. I was trying to remember what it was called. An erythem? I looked it up the last time I did a live with this kit, and I forgot since then. That's how bad my brain is. I completely forgot what it was called. And I said it like probably 20 times in the live, and it didn't stick. My sister, when she got married, she had kind of like a tropical themed wedding, and she had a beautiful bouquet of tropical flowers. I swear tropical flowers are like nature's sculptures. They're just so beautiful. They're unique and almost modern in the way they look. It's just really cool. To see all of them together, you know, the structure. There we go. That's kind of the right word. The structure of the flower. So different. So the lacquer looks kind of cloudy now, but it will dry clear later, I promise. So if it looks a little cloudy now, that's just, they grew wild in Hawaii. Oh, that's awesome. I've been to Hawaii. I've only been a couple of times, and I want to go back so bad. Oh my gosh, my cat is snoring like crazy. We got to go luckily for our honeymoon, which was so nice. And then we brought my daughters up there one time, but they were just babies. And I want to take them now that they're a little bit older. But they had a lot of fun time when they were babies, because I mean, babies in the beach, best day ever. Ooh, my hand needs to rest. You got married in Hawaii. That's awesome. They don't grow here. They don't grow in Alaska, Kim? Kim, they don't grow here in Arizona either. All right, I think that's it. Oh, these are different? You're saying this is a peace lily? Oh. I mean, I looked it up online, so, but I just did like that. I thought that looked right. So yeah, I'm not sure. We need a botanist to tell us. Peace lily, very well. It's very pretty. I hope are they red? I wonder, are peace lilies ever red? Because I might have really messed this up. Yeah, I don't doubt that, Kim, that they go to Hawaii. It's probably not too bad of a trip. Maui, oh yes. We went with when they were little. Now I want to go when they're a little bit older. But that is the finished card. Okay, so that's gonna dry. That'll be a little bit more it won't be so cloudy once it dries, but it's already looking so pretty. Such a fun card. I love it. Okay, I've got to put this away, far away where I don't mess it up while it dries. And now let me show you the new kit. You guys are gonna get a little sneak peek, actually like a full peek, of the March kit that's coming out tomorrow. Ooh, so exciting. Here it is. This is the premium kit. So I'm gonna show you everything that's in it. It's so awesome. First, I'll start with the classic, and then I'll show you the additional items that are in the premium kit. All right, so the stamp transfers between the two flower easily. Yes. Okay, so here is the backer that comes. So this comes in the kit. You always get one of these with some beautiful samples. These were made by Jennifer. She's so talented. And I actually have the cards here with me and I will share them. I do an overview of the entire March release live, and that will happen on Wednesday. Or no, Tuesday, sorry. Happen on Tuesday. So here you can kind of see, and if you guys have been following along with the Hero Arts blog, and Instagram, if you check that out too, we've been sharing countdown projects. So we share them on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we shared some today, and those are even more great sneak peeks of the kit. But you guys are actually going to see the whole kit right now. No one's seen it yet, so you get a first dibs, first look. But here's some samples, and like I said, with the countdown, we've done 3 days of countdown so far. And actually, today was the last day, and a bunch of projects were shared. Each day, there's like 3 to 4 projects shared. So definitely go check out those countdowns because the creative team made some beautiful cards. And here is what you get. So we're going to start with the classic kit, starting off with the clear 6x8 stamp set. So you can kind of sense the theme, right? And you know, I really need some white cardstock to really show this off. Oh, here we can use maybe this. There we go. We'll use this. And here is that 6x8 stamp set. So sort of like a Heroscape or like a coloring layering set. And it creates this beautiful kind of Japanese inspired. The whole kit, and I'm going to show you the whole kit. Yeah, but on today I'm showing you the whole 2 kits, the classic and the premium kit, everything that's included in those kits, which we haven't shared yet until now. The whole release will be available tomorrow. And the additional add-on products, I'm not going to share them in this live, but I will share on Tuesday's live. And we actually have that up on our YouTube channel already. So you can like save it or whatever you want to do. Add it. I think I forget what people do. There's a way you can on YouTube add it so you don't miss it. But this is that 6x8 stamp set. It's like a Heroscape set, really beautiful. You have this kind of water image, 2 layers for mountains, a sun or a moon, a beautiful crane. This is a reflection of the sun or moon that you can put in the water. We have a boat, another boat, bamboo, a gate, cattails, a dragonfly. There's some cute little ducks, like a mommy duck and a baby duck. Adorable. And some really wonderful sentiments. I love the way the sentiments look. I love what they say. This one says, thank you, calm. It's upside down, but it says, enjoy the journey. I love that scripty and linear combo. My favorite. And then you have this wishing you, which you could combine with peace of mind or wishing you smooth sailing, or you could use these individually or on their own separately. So it's a gorgeous stamp set. I have been having so much fun creating cards of this. I cannot wait to share my cards that I've created. I have a video actually of a card that I made with this stamp set coming out on Tuesday. So I have a live Tuesday and a video Tuesday. And so you get that stamp set. Next is the coordinating 17 coordinating frame cuts. Let me show you that. So they are just the coordinating dies for this clear. You have a big die here. Let's see if I can outrun it with my finger. A little bit tricky to see. But this will cut out your mountains for you. Then you have dies for all the images, like even the sun, the bamboo, the dragonfly, the duck, the crane, the gate, the boat, the cattails, I mean, all of it. But there's also sentiment or dies for the sentiments. Yay! I love sentiment dies. And these will cut out all the sentiments. So dies for everything, which is awesome. Yes, you gotta love a Heroscape, right, Vicki? They're so good. And this one's a really beautiful one. I love the more painterly look of it. It just has it really does, I think, look like Japanese silk screen style. Really, really beautiful. Or print, like prints. Print is the better way to say it. It's more like prints. prints, not prints. Next is this is the gem, guys. The next thing is the cover plate window die. This die is gorgeous, gorgeous. I mean, look at that. It's so beautiful. I know this is one I'm going to be using all the time. I love the way it looks. I love how kind of clean and simple this is. It's just stunning. And this centerpiece can be removed. So you can use it on its own. You can use it with this. I haven't detached it yet, but it's really, really pretty. And this large cover plate adds this beautiful, can you see that texture that it will add to your paper? Gorgeous texture. And then this die here will cut out this like intricate, almost geometric like circle of geometric shapes, I guess. There it goes. I guess I kind of said that right. But it's really pretty. Isn't this die gorgeous? When I saw this die, I was like, oh, that's so, so pretty. It's a really, really beautiful one. And then, if that wasn't enough, there's also 2 rub-on transfers. And these rub-ons are so good. Look at them, you guys. Have you played with the rub-ons yet? They're so fun. I'm going to open this up, actually. Maybe if my fingers worked, I could open this up. They don't work. Fingers don't work. There we go. The transfers are they're so easy. They're so fun. They add such a cool element. I love how it's not all the same too. Some of the characters are different. Some look more like very painted, like a brush stroke. These less so. And you even have like a little bit of red, and it's just different sizes. This is going to add such a great interest to your backgrounds. I love it. What do they say? Great question, Kim. I have no clue. Not even an iota of an idea. I should ask our design team who designed these products if they have any clue what they're from, right? Like, what are they from? I mean, that is really interesting. I'm sure there's something interesting about that, like what it means. I would love to know the answer to that. Okay, and then last but not least, so these are all part of the classic kit. I know, hopefully nothing bad, right? I would hope not. And last but not least is you get 3 ink cubes, Cherry, Periwinkle, and Deep Ocean. So a beautiful palette that works beautifully with that Heroescape, or that well, I'm going to call it a Heroescape. It's not technically called one, but you know, this like landscape stamp set. These work really well. In fact, even in my video, I use these inks to create the card. So look for that on Tuesday. So that is, you know, I think, I'm not totally sure, Cynthia. I'm not totally sure because I don't know. I would assume that most of it is Japanese, but I'm not really sure, which is terrible. That's terrible that I don't even have a clue. I know the design team would know, but I don't. I didn't even think to ask. I just saw how pretty they were and I got really excited. I know that's a lot. That's everything in the classic kit. All of that, everything I just showed you. Now I'm going to show you what's in the premium. So in premium, you get all that I just showed you. And then these additional 3 items. I know, a lot of bang. And if you guys were one of the people who ordered during our like leap year promo, you're going to get a bonus surprise in addition to all this. So this first up in the premium, the additional item is this 4x6 stamp set. I'm trying to grab some cardstock to put behind it so you can see it better. Okay, that'll have to do, I guess. But it's a cherry blossom branch. Isn't that pretty? I love the way it looks. The cards that the creative team have made beautiful, but I just love it. It's so pretty. I love how you have a main kind of focal image. You have some smaller images. This would be great for creating like a background. And then the sentiments, they're awesome. I love the way they look. There's so many different occasions. We have happy birthday. Let each petal inspire your journey. Much appreciated. Thanks for your kindness. Wishing you a garden of happiness. Ugh. Sending blooms of gratitude and a hello. So good. What a great set, right? Isn't it so pretty? So that is part of the premium. I think I should switch these over. Well, maybe I'll keep piling up because we're doing the premium. So it's everything that was in the classic and then these awesome additional items. Then you get 10 coordinating frame cuts. So these are frame cuts for that flower set, that cherry blossom set. A great die here for the flowers, the main flower. I'm gonna, my finger got caught. Try to point out here, but this main die that cuts out that large flower, you guys, it cuts out the negative spaces between the stems too. What? Do you see that? So you're gonna get such a beautiful lacy branch of cherry blossoms. I love that. That's such a nice detail. And not only do you get these wonderful dies for the flowers, there's also dies for the sentiments. I mean, so good, right? Yes, Laura, I know for the sentiments too, it's so good. So that's a awesome additional set with the premium kit. And then lastly, are brand new. These are brand new. We just released a bunch of translucent enamel dots, and you guys or the premium kit is going to get the pink ones, which is so fitting, I think, with those cherry blossoms. Look at how pretty. So kind of like a darker pink, a medium pink, and a lighter pink with 3 different sizes of each color. So super pretty. We'd be great in the centers of your cherry blossom flowers. So pretty. So that's it. That's the whole classic and premium March bi-monthly hero kits. Super exciting, guys. So tomorrow these will release. And we're going to release at our normal time, I believe, which is, my brain went completely dead. I think 10 a.m. Pacific. I think that's what it is. But it'll be tomorrow morning, a little bit later because, again, Hero Arts is in Pacific time. They're in California. But it's such a great kit, guys. I can't wait for you to see all of the creations that the creative team made. We're going to have a blog hop tomorrow, so definitely check that out. There'll be a giveaway. And then on Tuesday, I will do a live showing the kit, a bunch of cards, and all the add-on products, because this is not our entire March release. This is just the kits. We have a bunch of add-on products that are really, really awesome that I will share during the live. They will be available though on Monday as well, but I will share them in the live and all my samples that I've made. And of course, Tuesday I have a video coming out that I create with the kit too. And you don't want to miss Mindy's video. She does a great job of showing you the kits and everything. She's so good at her videos. And I'm going to pop over to myself and sign out for today. All right. I can tell you can hear me, so that's great. So that is the March Classic Kit and Premium Kit. Are you sure you can't show? I feel like I should not. But you guys will see them tomorrow. They'll be there tomorrow. Let me figure out, Cynthia, if that's a possibility for our next make-alongs, that's something we could do. Usually it's because the make-alongs are kit featured. That's why I focused on the kit, but yeah. Yeah, you live close to headquarters, Cynthia. Wow, do they really? That's so awesome. Okay, guys, well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed creating our card with the February kit. You can see it's drying. It's so pretty. And big exciting stuff coming tomorrow with our March kits coming out and our entire March release. So I hope to see you guys in like the chats and seeing the blog hop and everything. It's going to be really, really great. All right, bye everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you maybe tomorrow. Definitely Tuesday. Bye everyone.